just to go back to Fabian Edwards, right? That fight and stuff. Even Douglas was saying like that was still a close one, even though you lost. It was a very close fight, and it could have gone either way. So, did you beat yourself up over that loss, or were you kind of taking it the same way? Like, how did you feel about it?
So again, man, I'm like a pretty stable, neutral kind of guy. Like, obviously, it fucking sucked, and maybe I shed a couple tears and whatever. But I'm not the type of guy to dwell on shit. Even on a win, man, I'm not gonna sit here and relish in my win over Douglas Lima for the next 3 months. Like, I'll enjoy it a little bit, win or lose, drink a few beers, eat some pizza, and get back to the work. Like, I'm already back in the gym. Um, just kind of staying in shape now. That's what I do.
Yeah. And I'll say that I think that's pretty good mindset because I've been watching a lot of wrestling lately just because the Olympics and all that and college is going on or was going on. And like something that they lose all the time. It's part of the season and stuff, and they don't really put too much on themselves. But it seems like in MMA, that's something I noticed is a big difference between these other competitive combat sports is MMA. Even me too, right? I'll make a big deal out of losses or something like that. I keep asking you about it. So like,
Hmm.
sorry for doing that too, by the way. But I'm just
It's
saying
okay,
that,
man.
um, you
I'm
know,
used to getting roasted by you guys now.
I don't think I've roasted you too much, right? Or have I at all?
No,
But
you're fine.
you got like Pat, right, and Dylan and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is just like I think it's good that you kind of don't put too much into these losses, because that's something I recently kind of picked up on. I'm like maybe MMA fighters are putting too much on these losses. It's just part of the sport.
Yeah, man, it's kind of shitty the way the sport works though, because it's a big deal in your career if you lose, right? Like a couple losses in a row, you can get cut. You lose on the contender series, you lose your chance in the UFC, like that kind of shit, right? You lose half a paycheck when you lose. Henry Hoof says this all the time. Like he compares like MMA to like kickboxing, for example, when guys have like hundreds of fights. Like a loss is not a big deal to them. Like it obviously sucks. You don't want to lose, but like you're fighting, I don't know, 30 or 40 times a year. It's not the end of the world when you lose, and it can be for MMA. Like the thing he says, it's fighters fight. That's what we do. Like win or lose, we keep fighting. It just happens to be the way our sport is, where you train for 3 months for one event, so a loss can feel like life shattering at the time.
Yeah, because you don't get a turnaround a week later. I guess that's the big difference with wrestling too, right? Is they get a turnaround, it comes off really quick.
Yeah, maybe even the same day, right? Maybe you're in
Right.
a tournament where you have multiple matches in a day. You lose one, you're like, fuck, that sucks, but on to the next one. And fighting, like I just lost my last fight and I fucking sat there on that loss for what, like 6 months. So yeah, it can suck and it can beat you up, but again, it's like it's something I try to not do is dwell on losses or wins.
Yeah, just correct the thoughts, right? It happens, but probably just once it comes in, just be like, I'm gonna go train, focus on the positive.
Exactly. Like again, I'm doing the same thing after a win or a loss. I'm taking a week or so to enjoy myself a little bit more, and then I'm getting back in the gym. So, um, I try to think like it doesn't significantly change my life either way.